Hey guys, happy Thursday. And man, oh man, what a Thursday it was. Heck, it even got started before Thursday even happened for most of us. I know I said yesterday I was probably going to do my Super Bowl preview today unless something crazy happened, and man, I probably should have realized that that wasn't going to happen because the NBA deadline was today. And I'll admit, I was already thinking about waiting till tomorrow to make that because of the Russell Westbrook trade, which happened yesterday. Now, I could have made a video about that last night, but I'll admit I'm a dork and I play World of Warcraft, the Classic Edition. So by the time I got off from playing that, it was this little guy's bedtime. And even though I saw the deal right before I went to bed, you know, I got to do what I got to do. Got to get my rest for work tomorrow. And I'll admit, I was kind of jealous when I saw some videos I got recommended from some other guys who do the same type of stuff, and they had already got to make their little Russell Westbrook videos last night. But hey, it is what it is. On another note, I would like to talk. I know I wear these hoodies down all the time. I'd like to not do that, but I have a job, and unfortunately, I get pelted with sawdust in the forehead all day, sometimes even hit with chunks of woods. And honestly, it just looks unsightly. I'm not really ashamed about it or anything or embarrassed, but I'd rather just, who wants to look at that the whole video? There's not much I can do about it. It just dries the heck out of my forehead. I mean, even by the morning, sometimes it's almost gone, but then obviously I get out of work, get out of the shower, and it's just back. So if anyone was wondering why I'm wearing these hoodies like this all the time, that's pretty much it. Sorry, that's just the way it is. Maybe it'll turn into my thing, the Hooded Barbarian. I don't know, whatever. Let's get on with the video. Obviously, I'm going to talk about the NBA trade deadline and all the things that happened. I mean, I could not believe it when I woke up this morning, early in the morning, and saw what happened overnight. And I saw, obviously, the big one, Kevin Durant being traded to the Phoenix Suns. All right. Wow. Wow. Now, did it surprise me Kevin Durant got traded? No. As soon as the Nets said we have no interest in trading Kevin Durant, I said, liars. They are a poorly run organization. They have been for years now. Even when that Russian owner owned it years back, that trade for KG and Paul Pierce, and it was just they're just horrible. They're just a horribly run franchise, and they were just blowing smoke up everyone's rear ends with this stuff last year. Trading for James Harden, pretty much mortgaging, because they were fine. They got Kyrie and Kevin Durant as free agents. I don't want to get into this too much because I'm going to actually make a separate video about that. So, but that, usually on the trade deadline, not too many big things happen. It's usually a bunch of the smaller deals and the mid-level deals, and a lot of that happened today. And last year, obviously, that was probably more drama involved with the Ben Simmons and James Harden trade, but I cannot remember an NBA trade deadline to ever be this action-packed, big trades. It started yesterday with the Russell Westbrook thing, overnight with the Kevin Durant thing, and just kept on continuing. Now, since it happened first, let's just go cover the Russell Westbrook deal. And I knew even the Nets notwithstanding, it would probably take a 3-team deal, right? And it did. They agreed to trade why is his name such a tongue twister? Russell Westbrook to the Utah Jazz and reacquire point guard D'Angelo Russell, whom they drafted, then got rid of because of that whole drama that he had with the bad locker room things with the players. You guys probably remember that. If not, go look it up. This was before LeBron got there, while Magic was still running the team. And they get him from the Timberwolves in a 3-team, 8-player deal. So they also get Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt. Timberwolves get Mike Conley from the Jazz. And I don't even know who this is, Alexander Walker. The Jazz will receive Juan Toscano Anderson, Damian Jones, and the 2027 Lakers first-round pick. Now, I think besides Russell Westbrook, the main thing is that they actually saved that 2029 pick, which you saw that and those two first round picks and Russell Westbrook. I've said it before. I think I was involved with trade rumors for that scenario. It's just crazy how many times you've seen that thrown in there. The main question now with this is, did the Lakers get better? They also had some other action today, which I'll just get into right now. This is all on ESPN.com, by the way, to give them credit if you guys really want to go over this. I'm not going to get into it too much just because I don't want to make this a 25-minute long video. You guys know how much I can blabber on for. I'm going to try to keep this short and to the point. Maybe not short, but try to make it to the point. All right. So here is the other, let's get to the other Lakers deal, right? If I can find it. Yes. The Lakers, Thomas Bryant goes to the Nuggets, which then they got back the second round picks that they had traded as part of the Rui Hachimura trade. So they're kind of like, oh, all right, because Thomas Bryant was on an expiring contract, and pretty much they think that he's pretty much, a free addition because they got the second round picks back, okay? So Mo Bamba, Thomas Bryant, because they knew they wouldn't, he'd outplayed the minimum contract they were going to be able to offer him, right? So that was probably a smart move. Now, does this make the Lakers better? Yes. I don't know how much better. I don't think they're now championship contenders any more than they were before, considering other teams got better as well. Obviously, the Suns got much better. The Clippers probably got a little bit better. I really don't want to talk about the Clippers at all. They're the Nets of the West until Kawhi Leonard and Paul George can start playing full time. It's just, I'm so sick of hearing about that team. Kawhi Leonard is one of the more overrated players I've ever seen. Yes, was he a good player on a very good Spurs team? Sure. He was the young spark that team needed to get that one last championship. That championship in Toronto, I mean, people make all the excuses in the world for LeBron. What about Kawhi Leonard? They never win that championship if Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant don't go down for the Warriors. And you almost never hear it. So I don't really want to hear about them too much. But one thing I will say about that, John Wall, oh man, you have to feel bad for the guy. He was open about how much he hated Houston, and then you trade him back to Houston? Oh, poor guy. John Wall, I feel bad for you, man. I hope they buy you out and you could just go wherever you want. I don't know why it didn't work out with the Clippers. I guess they thought, they getting Eric Gordon. There was another addition. All right, I guess I'll have to talk about the Clippers a little bit. I mean, they are an NBA team, right? Oh, yeah, Mason Plumlee. That was the good thing that they actually did. I don't know if they're any more contenders than they were before. Like I said, if Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, those are the keys. If they can play to their all-time forms, get back to playing full-time, can they make the NBA Finals? Of course they can. But it's like the same thing with Kyrie or KD. These guys that are just totally unreliable, have been for years. I mean, it's like Skip Bayless constantly talking about the Dallas Cowboys. And, coincidentally, he's always picking the Nets, or was, with those two guys. And then he's always picking the Clippers. I guess people just have a thing for guys who they're just speculation champions. I don't know. Either way, the Bucks getting Jay Crowder, that was a good one. That's the Bucks obviously didn't need much, and Jay Crowder just a solid playoff caliber position that they filled up. A big men who can rebound, play defense in the postseason. That already have that proven experience. It's always good. All right. Let's go on to the Warriors. They got rid of Wiseman, right? Which is like, all right, he didn't work out. Hopefully he can kind of live up to whatever, we thought he was going to be when he got drafted. Now, the weird thing is they got Gary Payton for the 5 first-round picks that they got from one of the other deals that they made. So they got the 5 first-round picks and immediately traded them, I should say. Right? And it's kind of weird because they had Gary Payton already. Why didn't you just re-sign him? Now a player that you could have, I don't know, it probably has something to do with the salary cap, of course. You would think, since they obviously like him, because they just traded 5 second-round, I might have said first-round picks, sorry, 5 second-round picks just to get him back, which is just like, that just boggles my mind. But hey, it's the Warriors. I'm sure they know what they're doing. It's not like the Nets or the Clippers where you're like, what the hell are you guys doing? You can't trust any of their moves. And second-round picks, they're pretty much crapshoots anyway. They're not really worth too much. So, hey, probably a good deal, but it just seems weird to me that you give up that many, even second-round picks, just to get a player back that you just had on your team. And now, let's go to the big one. This is the one where you're like, holy moly. All right? Now, does this form another super team? Kevin Durant and TJ Warren, which, you know, he's been out for a while. Let's see if he can get back. Oh, ESPN. Sorry, guys. I can't stand when they do that. Okay. Let's hope he can get back to form. But either way, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, and you can kind of see now why the Nets took the Dallas Mavericks deal, right? This all makes much more sense now because it didn't make sense. I don't know what the undisclosed picks in Chris Paul were. I don't know what that involved, but if it was even 1 first-round pick, then it's like, why wouldn't you do that instead of taking Dinwiddie and the other guy they got? His name slips my mind right now. I'm not going to bother to look it up. You trade for those guys. I'm sorry, people can argue all you want. The other 2 deals were better. The Lakers deal was better, and especially if you consider you weren't going to keep KD, so why not just get Russell Westbrook? Obviously, they're looking towards the future, not winning now, so that's why they don't want Westbrook. And then the 2 first-round picks you would have had with that. But then now, when you see, okay, they were probably talking to Katie behind the scenes. They had this thing going with the Suns probably for a while. Matt Ishbia, the Suns' new owner, he was obviously interested in Katie, was trying to go for him. You need, like the famous saying in the NBA, you're just 1 player away from contending. Well, there you go. And obviously, the Phoenix Suns, they're in a better position. They're already in the 5th seed, even though I think they're only like 28 and 25, whatever it is, just a couple of games over 500. But being in the 5th seed, and then hopefully Kevin Durant can come back soon. If Vegas thinks they're the favorite in the West now, they only have the Celtics still above them, which hopefully Jaylen Brown can come back healthy before too long. He'll probably be wearing a mask. But does this, they're a super team, and I'm going to get into this in the video when I make it about the Nets. I'm going to talk about super teams more because I think there's a certain all-time great coach and a certain all-time great player that have been highly criticized for always having super teams, but I don't think super teams are always as easy to gel and coach and have evolve into what you want them to do as everyone thinks they are. It's just another qualifier, another excuse. Making excuses for someone's greatness, in my opinion. Excuses are supposed to be for negative stuff of why things didn't happen. They shouldn't be for positive stuff of why they did happen, okay? Like I said, in my opinion, it's weak, it's pathetic, but either way, this is what people do. I'll get into that in that video. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Look for it probably on Saturday, as I'll probably won't have much to talk about. That's what I'm planning right now. But you know what? I say these things and then stuff pops off. And you know what? I hope it does. I hope I don't end up making that video on Saturday. Maybe I'll make it Sunday right before the Super Bowl. Who knows? We'll see. So the Nets, obviously, they're probably right back to where they started. before they got Kevin Durant and Kyrie, which they're really lucky for. If you think about it, Kyrie was just another team that he tanked before they got him. And because remember, they got them both, but then Kevin Durant had that Achilles injury, so he missed that whole first year. Before those two joined the Nets, they were a good, young, up-and-coming team. They had a lot of good young pieces. They were playing above board, right? They were an overachieving team, kind of like the Clippers were in the West before they got Kawhi Leonard. Both those teams, and it's just so funny how they both go along these same lines where all these superstars join them, and then I don't know, like, oh man, it's just so easy to form super teams and win, right, guys? So, anyway, Vegas thinks they're the favorite now. What do you guys think? Are they the favorite? I don't know. You still got the Warriors out there. Let's see if the Mavs can actually do something with Kyrie. I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll start playing well back to his, enjoy playing with Luka, and he'll play back to his Cleveland Cavaliers days with LeBron. Luka is a very similar type player to LeBron. Obviously not the physical specimen, but he can fill up the stat sheets in a very similar way. It should be interesting. It definitely makes the West a little bit more top heavy. They seem to have fallen off. All the best teams I thought were in the East this year. Now I think the West with Phoenix, with Dallas, like I said, the Warriors still out there. The Denver Nuggets always, are going to be dangerous with Jokic playing at that high level. And then, hey, how's the West looking now, huh, Ja Morant? Anyway, I don't even want to get into that clown brigade, but let me know what you guys think. Who do you think were the winners and losers? I think a lot of teams did pretty good in this trade deadline. It was a crazy one. I can't remember one ever this action packed. I'm like, you guys could see, I'm like kind of like speechless even talking about it. Sorry. But again, we'll see how this plays out. Should be an interesting rest of the year in the NBA. Look for the Super Bowl preview tomorrow. I gotta make it tomorrow. I don't want to wait till Saturday. If something crazy happens, I'll just have to make 2 videos. It'll be Friday anyway, so this poor little guy doesn't have to go to bed all early. Little baby boy needs his rest. What can I say? Anyways, guys, please feel free to comment. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. I don't want to get into all the whinging for you-know-whats and you-know-whats. I just want people to enjoy the video. And I know you might think like, oh, you're just pandering for comments because it helps your growth and what. Yes, it does, but honestly, that's not about it. I fully believe this channel is going to grow no matter what. And if you want to make someone's day, man, some of your comments that you leave, maybe there's only 1 or 2 a video, but some of you are far nicer than you need to be. Thank you. And until the next one, stay healthy. Peace.